Yo, 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 what is cracking, people? It is your boy Offbeat live in the Friday night hot seat. I hope you are cool. I hope you've had a good week. I have had a good week. Yeah, it's been all right, actually. The weather has helped. It has been really sunny, which massively helps, I think, with mood in general. And also, I've just kind of come to terms with the fact that I'm not as busy as I think I am. And there have been I've got this like constant sense of like, oh, I should be doing something. Oh, I feel like if I'm not doing something, I feel guilty, or I feel like I'm wasting time. And the other day, I think it was yesterday, I just reached a point where I was just like, do you know what? I've just lost motivation to do stuff. I'm just going to not do anything for a few hours. I'm just going to relax and chill out. And then while I was doing that, I was like, do you know what? Almost all the stuff on my to-do list can wait. Like, none of this is urgent. No one's chasing me for it. No one's gonna like nothing serious is gonna happen if it doesn't get done. I can afford to just like relax and chill out a little bit. And that was really nice from like a mental point of view, to just kind of realize that a lot of the stuff on my plate isn't as urgent as I think. Excuse me. So I think that's just helped in general with my kind of mood. And as I say, the weather has been incredible, and that helps as well. So one of the things that has been good this week is like exercising. What's up, guys? I can see a few of you chatting and saying hello. I'll open up the chat in a little bit. I'm just going to share my little words of wisdom with you first. One of the things that has been good has been like exercise this week, and like I say, because the weather's been so nice, I've just been exercising outside a lot, and like I can't stress how much that helps and how different I feel when I exercise regularly and when I eat properly. And like last weekend, my diet was absolutely terrible, and like I had like takeaway almost every meal. and I ate like a shed load of chocolate as well. My friend bought me this like big box of like Easter chocolates, and there was just like so much. And I'm an absolute like chocolate addict, like chocoholic, genuinely. And if it's in the house, I'll eat it. Like I only buy it in small quantities, because whenever I do buy it, I just destroy it instantly. So I have to physically restrain myself by only buying a little amount. So when there's a big box of it in my room, it goes within a couple of days, and it did. So I had a bit of almost like a New Year's resolution style like revolution on Monday, and I was just like, right, this week I'm not going to eat any rubbish. I'm going to exercise, like stick to my days of exercising, make sure I do it early in the morning. And the difference I feel is incredible. That's not to say I didn't feel great when I was eating the takeaways and eating the chocolate, but very shortly afterwards I didn't. So this week I've been training quite hard, and because I've been training outside as well, and it's been nice and sunny, and I've been doing it early, and I've been complementing that with a good diet, and it's all kind of come together. It's not like I haven't planned all of this stuff. Obviously I haven't planned the weather, but like even the diet thing, all in my head, all I wanted to do was just like eat a bit better. But I mentioned in the stream earlier this week, I found a cookbook that my mum gave me for Christmas, which just happened to have lots of recipes for like salads and like healthy stuff in there. There's plenty of unhealthy stuff in there as well, but like there've been lots of really nice like Middle Eastern salads with like couscous and roast vegetables and all that sort of stuff. So I've been eating a lot of that this week, and I feel great as a result. Like I feel more energetic, I feel more awake, I feel like cleaner, if that makes sense as well. Like I feel like I've purged a lot of the rubbish out of my system, and yeah, I just thought I'd share one of the tools that has helped me throughout the last month, but certainly this week as well. And you might have seen this earlier, because I did a post about it, like a photograph post and a text, like a long comment that went with it basically. But I created this little exercise diary chart, and it's filled out now, so it looks quite complicated. But if you imagine it with no writing in it, it is literally just like 4 weeks going down the side: week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And then days 1, 2, 3, 4 going along the top, and then I've got like a bonus day in there as well if I want to do a bonus thing. And so all that is literally at the start of the month, I'd said to myself, right, for the next 4 weeks I want to exercise 4 times per week, and very simple, like incredibly simple chart to write out, like and all I did was I printed that out, stuck it in my wardrobe. If you watch any of my previous streams, you'll see that like it's been there's like a gap there now, but it's just been stuck on my wardrobe. And that's because like I can see it every day. And like it isn't, there's nothing clever about this. It is just literally a way of keeping me accountable to myself. Because if I don't have that and I'm trying to like keep track of everything in my head, it's so easy to miss days, or to be like, oh, well, I exercised the other day, or oh, I feel like I exercised recently, so I'll just give it a miss today. And before you know it, you've lost that momentum, and then you haven't done it for like days or weeks. And I also know as well, because I know how I think and I know myself reasonably well, that if I do miss a training session, or even like I only need to have not trained for 24 hours to start that like procrastination cycle in my head of like, oh, it's going to be hard. Oh, I don't want to do it. Oh, I'll just procrastinate a little bit. And then before you know it, you've lost momentum and you've fallen off the wagon. So I need to basically exercise every 24 hours. Otherwise, I forget how much I enjoy it. So this was designed to help me do that. And the other little like mind hack or trick that this helps with is if there's like a gap, like today, for example, couldn't really be bothered to exercise this morning. Like I had a few drinks last night and I woke up and I was just like, oh, can't really be arsed. But because I've done every other session and then there was just that one at the end, obviously I'm going to do it because I couldn't bear for there to be like a little gap there, or like an empty hole. And similarly, if I'd missed one of the sessions like earlier and there was like a gap there, for example, I would have done an extra session this week just to make up for it, because I'm kind of OCD like that and I need to have it completed and filled out. So it's dead simple. I'm not trying to claim that I've invented anything clever or revolutionary in any sense, but it's just a simple little tool that has helped me, and I've made it available for you guys to download and print off yourself if you want one. So if you do, you can go to my website, iamoffbeat.com/exercise diary, and it's just a PDF. And you can just download it. You haven't got to like put in your email address. I'm not asking for any like data, or there's no like catch. It's just literally a simple little tool that might help you as well. And if you're anything like me, if you need like a little bit of accountability, if you need to try and like game yourself into doing things a little bit, or like have a bit of a mind hack to make you do stuff, it may be a useful tool. And if you haven't got a printer, which I know is going to be an excuse for some people, it's that simple that you can literally just draw it out. 4 weeks down the side, 4 days across the top, grid, and then all you do is write in what you've done, and hopefully it'll help you stay active and feel better, because that's what it's all about as well. Like I'm not like a personal trainer. I don't think this is going to like make anyone have like a radical body transformation or anything like that. If that's what you're hoping to achieve, like there are better tools than this. All this is designed to do is keep you like regularly doing exercise and keeping that momentum, because for me it makes me feel better. It makes me feel more awake, it makes me feel prouder of myself, and it just gives me more energy and I just feel better. So I want you guys to feel that way as well. So as I say, it's I'm going to put it up on the screen actually. Hold on, I'll write the address out if I can work out how to do that. Text, here we go. Create new website. Okay. Ooh, what's it doing? Oh, here we go. I don't know where I actually type. Oh, here. So it's http://iamoffbeat.com/exercise diary. And that's it. You won't be able to click on that, but that is the link. So just type that into your browser, and it's a little PDF you can just download for free, and either print it out or draw it out. And hopefully, if you're struggling with motivation, or if you just want a bit of inspiration, that might give you the kickstart that you need to keep going. Or if you're already doing it, it might help you keep doing it, like it has done with me. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm going to turn the chat on now and have a bit of a chinwag with you guys. So, boom, there we go. What is up? Who have we got? We've got Rye Gerbrands. Yo, Ollie. What's up, Rye? How's it going, mate? Thanks for coming. Octave says, yo, what is up, Octave? Duralius says, ayo. Ayo, Duralius. How you doing, mate? And Duralius also says, chocolate. Drool. Yes, drool indeed, mate. That's exactly why I can't have it in the house, because I can't resist it. Octave says, not many people here, huh? No, probably a bit of a turn off talking about exercise and exercise diaries. I didn't think this would be like the most exciting stream in the world, to be honest. So I don't blame people if this isn't their thing. That's not what people follow me for. I'm not like a fitness person. I'm a music person. So I don't expect my audience to necessarily be to share that same interest or passion that I have. But that's all good. Violet Vivid says, good evening. What's up, Violet? How you doing? And Octave says, hey, Violet's here. What is up? Violet, how are you doing? Have you had a good week? I'm going to take that link off now. There we go. How are you guys? How are you, Octave? How's your week been, mate? Are you keeping well? What are you guys doing this weekend to keep yourselves entertained in this lockdown situation? I've got so tomorrow I'm basically having like a cooking day, basically, where me and my flatmate are going to make loads of stuff out of that book, maybe even have a cheeky little barbecue as well, which should be good fun, and also try our hand at making some deep fried squid, because that's something that we are both craving hugely and missing tremendously from our favourite Chinese restaurant, which is no longer open. So we're going to try and recreate it at home, which may be successful. It may be hideously disappointing, but either way it should be quite funny. And then just catching up with friends and family as well over Zoom. Just gonna give some people some calls, try and stay like socializing with people, because I think that's really important as well. Do a little bit of music work as well, and that's about it really. So Violet says, sorry, kind of doing a massive amount of writing, sadly not the job writing though. What do you mean? Not the job writing? As in, what kind of writing are you doing? Octave says, finally feeling awake today after my infusion on Monday. Jesus, mate, that is a hefty hangover. I don't really know what like an infusion entails, so I don't know. Is that like a normal amount of time to have to suffer the like after effects from it? Because that's awful if so, mate. Like a whole week feeling kind of drowsy and that is shit. Octave says, and for the weekend, signed up for a bunch of online esports tournaments. Oh, yeah, nice. And working on a new track as well. Wicked, mate. I look forward to hearing it. Duralius says, sleeping as much as possible, hibernation goals. Remind me where in the world you are, Duralius. I can't remember. Is it... I'm going to say Norway, but I don't know. Is it wintertime now? I don't think it is it? If that's where you are. Violet says, I'm good, doing my first bit of creative writing in a story since high school 20 plus years ago. 5 chapters down and over 6,000 words. Wicked. Is that what you want to be doing though? Because in your earlier comment you say, sadly not the job writing though, but then you say it's the first bit of creative writing. So is that like, do you not want to be doing it? Or are you just like struggling with it because it's not what you're used to doing? Like, there's a bit of a conflict there. Violet says, glad you're feeling more awake, Octave. Me too. I'm starting to suddenly not feel very awake now. All this talk of drowsiness. Octave says, yeah, it's been 2 weeks of drowsiness in the past. Jesus Christ, mate, that is savage. And Doralia says, I'm your neighbour to the East Netherlands. Oh, right, cool. That was it. I knew it began with an N. Is it like, what season is it in the Netherlands at the moment? Because I swear it's not like winter time. I'm going to Google it. What season is it in the Netherlands right now? Right now, Google. It doesn't say. You can tell me. I would have thought, though, geographically, it's not like a million miles away from... Yeah, spring, right? And you say, so it should be spring, but it feels like summer. So why are you hibernating, mate, if it feels like summer? Violet says, not mainly with the creative writing. One of my jobs is freelance automotive journalist, write for Land Rover magazine. Violet, I know that. We've talked about the Randy Landy before. Of course I know that. That's what I mean. So do you prefer doing the automotive journalism, and you're struggling with like the creative stuff, or are you enjoying doing the creative stuff? But I'm a little bit confused with how you worded that. That's all. Octave says, Northern Hemisphere is spring, Southern Hemisphere is autumn. Mate, fair play, your geography is much better than mine. So, as you know, I've been doing these Joe Wicks workouts that I won't shut up about. I think they are brilliant, and I do think if anyone wants to do this, but they're struggling for things to like put in it, because they don't know like what exercise they should do. Doing those Joe Wicks workouts are amazing. I won't carry on talking about them too much now, but he does like little quizzes and stuff while you work out, and like this week it's all been about geography and doing like random trivia about places in the world, and it's made me realise how awful my geography is. Like I knew it was bad anyway, but it's particularly bad now, where I was like getting like 1 or 2 out of 10 of the questions right, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Violet says the Randy Landy will come. Excellent. Bet it will. Dorelia says the less I'm awake, the less food I need, so I won't have to go out as much for new food. I see. So you're conserving energy in a bid to like help yourself physically distance more. That's very responsible of you. On behalf of society, we thank you. Violet, the creative stuff is a new thing for me. Oh, excuse me, guys. How about that? I come on talking about how alive and awake and energetic I'm feeling. Now I'm yawning. Violet says the creative stuff is a new thing for me. Had an idea at 2 a.m. on Tuesday. Wrote the first chapter from then till 6 a.m. Tuesday. I remember you saying about it. Yeah. So can you share the idea with the group now? Tell us what it's about. Definitely interested to hear. Be interested to read it as well if you want to send it to me. If you fancy a bit of creative critiquing from a peer, then I'd be more than happy to give it a once over and let you know what I think. I'm just nosy, to be honest. I just want to see what it's all about. Octave says, I'd like to write, but honestly can't be fucked. Fair enough. Yeah, it can be that way. I've actually had some fun this week. You know the guy I've talked about a little bit before, Phonetic, my mate Gord, who I made that Breadwinners EP with, the very first like bit of music I ever released in 2000. That's not a yawn. I was just having a little scream. In 2005, I think it came out. And it was a little EP that me and him did. I say it was little. It was 6 tracks. It was bigger than any of my solo EPs, longer. But yeah, like we haven't made any music together since then. And like I actually stopped before he did, because I took that sort of like 10-year gap. He carried on for quite a while, and then he stopped, and I picked it up again. And I've been like at him recently, trying to get him like back into it and stuff. And like recently, he's been sending some like WhatsApp recordings of like lyrics that he's written, and he did one the other day, which he sent, and then like basically gave me a nudge and was like, go on then, write the next bit. And I was like, all right, sweet. So I wrote some, and it's very, very different to like what I normally write as sort of offbeat with my solo stuff. It was much more like kind of what I used to write when I was younger. It was more like kind of like battle lyrics and like punchlines, and like a little bit more like edgy as well. So it's probably not something I'll share. Like maybe at some point I might. But it was just a bit of fun to like write with him again, and it was just nice to do something for fun, because obviously I enjoy writing lyrics for offbeat, and like I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. But it like there's always that pressure of like, oh, I'm kind of writing it for something. Like I'm writing this with the idea that I'm going to release a song in mind, and in some ways I want it to be like on brand a little bit. And like it needs to match like people's expectations of me, and there's that little bit of pressure of like people are going to hear this, therefore it needs to be a certain standard. Whereas like just writing for fun with my mate, it was literally like I can write whatever I fucking want, I can say whatever I fucking want, and it was quite like liberating, I guess, to do that. But by the same token, it was challenging in its own way because it's so different to what I normally do. So normally when I'm writing a song, I've always got an idea of like what it's about, and it's very easy to like bullet point the topics that I want to cover, or if it's a story, like bullet point the structure of it and then kind of write to that. Whereas with this, it was just like, it just needs to... I'm going to sneeze, guys. Hold on, I'm sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, it's gone. It'll come back. Oh, it's trapped in my nose now. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, like when you're writing sort of like these almost like freestyle bars or kind of like battle lyrics, you just want it to sound cool, and the focus is more on like the flow, which is cool in its own way because you can have a lot more fun with it and it doesn't need to make as much sense. But at the same time, you've got so much freedom that it's difficult to know where to start. And so my problem when I'm writing lyrics like that is like, well, what do I say? Like I can make stuff sound cool and I can make it rhyme, but like I want it to like say something or mean something. And so it's trying to detach myself from that. So I'm only saying that because Violet's saying like the creative stuff's kind of new to you, but you're used to writing another way. And also Octave says I'd like to write, but honestly I can't be fucked. And yeah, sometimes it can be hard work, but it is fun and it is rewarding as well. So maybe you should give it a try, Octave, although not right now if you're still like recovering from medical procedure. Octave says, I wake up with melodies in my head in the middle of the night often. Yeah, I don't, but like I do get them throughout the day, and there are sometimes times where I'll like record voice memos on my phone of just like me humming a melody that I've thought of. I'm like, oh, that sounds sick. I like should try and get that made into a beat or send that to like Oddchap or whatever. And I record it and then I listen back to it a couple of days later and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. If someone ever stole my phone, I'd be more embarrassed about them listening to my voice memos than I would be pissed off that someone had stolen my phone. Because yeah, they just sound terrible and they don't even like make sense when you listen back to them. Like at the time I'm like, oh, I need to get this down. And when I listen back to it, I'm just like, I don't even know how you turn that into a song. It's just like some toneless mumbling. Deralia says, I'm doing it more for myself. If I'm honest, I don't like the people in this area. Fair enough, mate. That is fair enough. Yeah, I do like the people in my area, but I do think that like the social distancing thing has like it's made people behave differently, but like there are some people where I feel like they've been given a license to be rude now, and people who were like antisocial and rude before, now they're like milking it, and like they're the ones who like dive out of the way and shout like 2 meters in the middle of a supermarket and stuff when you're like walking down the same aisle which isn't 2 meters wide. But you know, also people are stressed and people are scared, so I kind of I'm giving people like the benefit of the doubt, but there are some people where I'm just like, really, are you being like this because it's the pandemic, or like are you just a rude person and this is your time to shine? Octave was fucking 2 in 2005. Jesus, mate. And then he calls me Boomer Ollie. Whatever, Octave. I'm a millennial, mate, apparently. Mr. Thomas says, hello again. Hello, Mr. Thomas. Thank you for coming along. Deralia says, just give us that cute sneeze. The people demand it. It's gone now. It might come back. Typical. Mr. Thomas, anyway, I may not respond much as I'm also finally continuing my design of the useless box. What useless box are you designing? I love how everyone's doing creative stuff in lockdown. Like people who wouldn't normally... Well, I don't know if you would normally be designing a useless box or not, but like Violet's doing a creative writing. Mr. Thomas is continuing to design a useless box. I'm writing lyrics with my mate about nothing. Everyone's kind of like being creative for creative's sake, not because they're like having to create something to order. That's nice. Octave says, I got a bounce. Tonight's tournament is starting. Cool. Good luck, mate. Thanks for coming along. Violet says, read the story. It's a dystopian near-future cyberpunk story. Sweet. That is my bag. So yeah, send it my way if you're ready. Twig says, Sneeve. What's a Sneeve? What is a Sneeve? That's when you sneeze into your sleeve. Twig says, sneeze. What's up, Twig? That's a bit of a tongue twister. Twig says, being scared gives you no right to be rude. Some jackwagon was rude to my dad at the store, yelling to stay in line and all that. That's what I mean. Yeah, there was this dickhead in Sainsbury's the other day, and like shouted at me. Was like because we were in the same aisle, and he was just like 2 meters, and I sort of just looked at him, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything because like I don't know what your situation is, and like I'll leave it. But what a prick. And then I was on the other side of the store, and I heard him do it to someone else, and it was like an old man, and like the guy was like so old he basically was deaf, and he obviously couldn't hear the guy, and he just like laughed, which was brilliant. It was the best reaction he could have had, because this guy was like 2 meters, and this old dude just went like that, and then the guy was like, it's not funny, 2 meters. And then this old dude was like, just turned around to someone else, was like, what did he say? And this woman was like, 2 meters. And he was like, oh, and just walked off. And it was like the best way to like not diffuse it probably pissed the guy off even more, but like rather than do what I wanted to do, which was react like angrily, and just be like, fuck off, mate. Like the old dude just laughed, and like, yeah, I was like, oh, I should react like that in future. But as I say, also, like, I don't know what that guy's backstory is, or like, you know, he might be totally stressed, or might have had someone he knows catch corona or whatever. So like, yeah, I'm not going to be too harsh on him, but it was just one of those situations. Twig says, I would have legitimately walked up to him. Man would be so intimidated, he would have backed away slowly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it calls for that in the current climate, but like, if it wasn't like this and someone was like screaming shit at me in Sainsbury's, I'd probably react differently. Because I'm a bad man. That's not how that was meant to sound. Cool, guys. I'm going to jet fairly shortly, unless anyone's got anything else to say. I mainly came on to talk about this and just let you know that if you do want a copy of it, you can get it from my website, IamOffbeat.com/exercise diary. It's absolutely free. You haven't got to put in an email address or anything. It's literally just a free tool if you're struggling with motivation to exercise and you want something that gives you a little bit of a hand. And that's kind of it, really. Have a great weekend. I'm just going to read these last couple of comments. Mr. Thomas, Violet Vivid says, Mr. Thomas, useless boxes are awesome. Yes, they are. Dorelia says, people already stayed at distance from me because I look like a thug. Do you? I don't know. I'm trying to think what you look like. I don't know I'm not sure if I know. I know you're part of the supporters club, but I'm trying to think if I've actually seen your profile on Facebook. I have to dig through that and work it out. Twig says, as for me, I've been playing Metal Gear Solid, being all stealth. Spent 40 hours on one, Jesus. 24 on another, and yeet. Love you, Ollie. Hope everything's well. Cool, man. Nice one. All right, guys, I'm gonna bounce, like I say. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you on Monday. Nice one. In a bit. Peace.